Hello, everybody. It's Mrs. Pound, and I'm back with another chapter, chapter 1.2 on cells. The first section we're going to talk about is section 121 on the cell theory. Our objectives for today's video are to state the basic components of the cell theory and discuss the cell theory compared to the account of creation and the theory of evolution. So let's first talk about what is a cell. A cell is the smallest unit in which life processes can be carried out. And as we can see in the background here, organisms can be one cell, or like in the background here, it can be many cells put together, working together. The first person to see a cell under a microscope was, in fact, a gentleman named Robert Hooke, and he called them cells because he was looking at a very thin slice of cork, and the boxes that he saw under his microscope reminded him of the rooms that monks lived in. And so that's why he called them cells. Now, one thing we also have to remember about the cell that Robert Hooke was looking at is that it was not alive. It was, in fact, dead. It was dried. And so he did not see any of the organelles that we know about today in what he was looking at. There were many scientists who went into the development of the cell theory, but the cell theory is a scientific explanation of the properties of cells. And like I said, contributions by many scientists. The cell theory states that all living things are composed of one or more cells. Cells arise from other cells, so they come from other cells. You can't get a cell from nothing. And all of the chemical reactions of a living organism occur within its cells. I like to say that we are ourselves walking test tubes, and in our cells are these test tubes where all kinds of chemical reactions take place to keep us alive. So, the cell theory and creation versus evolution. Comparing it to creation, the cell theory actually points to God who spoke the heavens and the earth into existence. Because each living thing that he created was to reproduce its own kind, which supports cells coming from other cells. So, um, creation does not contradict cell theory. Cell theory does not uh, contradict creation, it actually supports creation. However, the theory of evolution, with the theory of evolution, the cell theory contradicts the theory of evolution. That's because it suggests that cells arose spontaneously from a mix of organic components, that the first cell did not come from other cells. So the cell theory actually does not support evolution entirely. So our objectives today were to state the basic components of the cell theory and to discuss the cell theory compared to the account of creation and the theory of evolution. Remember to keep watching to answer the questions at the end, and don't forget your 5 questions that you're to write in your margins for this video.